Hi guys, welcome back to another Mercedes Pools. I'm David. What we're going to do today for you is a special project. Is if you have a Polaris that the booster pump is not working, it's just old, and you want something a little quieter, what we're going to install today is called the PB4SQ. It's the quietest motor they make. You almost got to touch it to check and see if it's running. So if you've got a Polaris that makes too much noise, not working, or just had too many repairs, this is the newest and best unit that Polaris makes, and is one of the finest pumps on the market. What we're going to do today for you is show you exactly how to change it. So if you're interested and you're one of those guys that can change stuff yourself and hang ceiling fans, this will be just as easy. So let's get into it right now. All right guys, we're going to install this SQ. These are the tools that you're going to need. You're going to need a Phillips screwdriver. You're going to need a flathead screwdriver. You're going to need some Teflon tape. You get this at Home Depot. You're going to need a pair of adjustable pliers. You're also going to need a pair of needle nose pliers like this one. And you can use either a knife or a hose cutter. I use a hacksaw just because it's quick and easy for me. But you can also use just a knife. All right, so here we go. Let's get started. All right guys, first thing you want to do is make sure you turn the time clocks off. Turn off your main switch and make sure there's no electric to it. Next thing you want to do, these are called soft hoses. So we're just going to take those off. Sometimes you can twist these by hand. Sometimes they get a little older when the sun is out. So you need to get you some adjustable pliers. So you can get the hoses off. This is a Generation 1. They don't make any parts to this anymore really. It's hard to get parts for. They have a Generation 2 called the PB460, and then they have the PB4SQ, which is the third generation, and very, very quiet. So these are called unions. Once you got this union nut all the way up, hose comes right off. You're going to go ahead and take off the other part. So this is the other side of the union. We're going to take this off of here. So we're going to put on a brand new one. Somebody lubricated it. Weird. So we're going to do the right thing, just throw that unit away. Same thing, so this was the return side. Then we're going to do the same thing on the suction side. You do not have to take the hoses off the pump because we're going to throw that away anyway. All right, next thing you're going to do is come back here. This is called a bond wire. So you want to remove the bond wire off of here. And usually it's going to have like a little clamp. So you just get the clamp and pull the clamp out. Clamp right here. So it has a screw that went through it. So we just took this screw and pulled that screw out of the motor to release the bond clamp. Put that screw up here. Maybe we may or may not need that later. Pull panel off. Let me demonstrate that one more time. So now that we got the bond wire off, we undid these screws right here. You're going to open up this cover. And here there's going to be two major wires. In this case we have two blue wires. So these blue wires are going to go on L1 and L2. Doesn't matter which way they go. So they're not prioritized. So if you switch them back or forth on this one, does not matter. Next thing you do is take the ground wire off. Then what you're going to do is release this right here is called electrical connector or electrical union elbow. Then you're going to slowly pull your wires out. Just twist your elbow off. Yeah, they cross-threaded them. Okay, so now your pump is out completely. So the next thing we're going to do, guys, is we're going to unbox this. So let's start unboxing it. All right, guys, now we're going to be unboxing the new one. So we're going to get it out of here, open it up. So the first thing you're going to find is, this is called the soft hose. cut that with that knife or any other thing. Next thing you got is your new pump. So this is what the actual SQ pump looks like. Super quiet. You'll see once we get it going how quiet it is. These are going to be your new unions. These are what your new unions look like. These will not fit the ones that we took off the old one. And that's really it. All right. Well, let's put it on. Let's start putting the unions in, and then we'll start hooking up the electrical. Let's go. All right, guys. So what you need to do is going to take your Teflon and put you a couple of stripes around just like that. You don't want a whole lot, just maybe 2, 3 at the most. Then you're going to wipe it with your finger in a clockwise position. Then you're going to put that into your pipe. In this case, we're going to put it onto the return side. And when I'm discussing return, I mean return to the pool. So a little bit different than air conditioning terms. Then we're going to take the adjustable pliers and we're going to tighten it down snug. It doesn't have to be all the way in, but we want to make sure that we're doing it so it's snug. This one may go all the way down. But on the pump side, when we begin to do it on the pump, we want to be real careful about snugging it too far that we could crack something. So this one's pretty tight. You can see that I didn't go all the way down, guys. Sometimes if you take and try to go all the way down with these fittings, it will crack the plumbing, for sure. So you always want to be careful about over tightening. So same thing, hold it with your finger, and we're going to go real slow. There's 1 circle, 2 circles, 3 circle, and then pull it. Take your hand and just kind of give it a little wipe down. Then we're going to put that into the suction side right here. All right. We're going to do another one. So there's 4 of these all together, guys. 1. Hold it with your finger. You're going to go around once, 2, 3. It's going to be on the suction side right here. So you want to start it off by hand. Get as hand tight as you can get it. So now we're going to take the adjustable channel locks. I'm going to give it 1, 2, 3 turns. We don't want to over tighten it. I want you to see how much gap we have left. So you can see we got about a finger of gap. If we went and twisted it all the way down, likely we're going to crack this little collar right here, and then you're going to be needing a new front housing. So we don't want to do that. We just need it just snug. And then we're going to do another one for the return side. Bummed up 1, 2, 3 turns. That's pretty snug. I don't want to go all the way 3 because it's very, very snug. Again, if you can see, there's a lot of gap here. That's okay. If you drive it down too far, we're going to crack this housing. All right, so now we're ready to put the electrical on. This one is actually on the top. So they've gotten so many people that are having their pumps just limited amount of space. As you can see, or I'll show you later in this particular case here, their pump is also up against the wall. Most of the new pumps are now electrical is on top where you got better access. And that's the exact case that we got going on here today. So all Polaris SQs have the electrical access panel right on the top. So you can see in the top right here, we have the capacitor, and then we have all the access for our electrical back in here. There we go. All right, so we are ready to move this over on the pad. And we're going to begin to put the electrical back in. So we're going to pull the wire through. Alright, we'll get the electrical hooked up. We're just going to give it a quick, make sure it's running. Hold it with my foot. She runs. We're just giving it a quick little oomph. So we'll put the cover on. We'll bolt that down in a minute. Then we want to start measuring for our hoses. Just going to put your union up on the hose. You'll push it down on here. Take your adjustable channel locks. And you're just going to tighten her up. You're going to measure where you want it. So this one we're going to measure to right here. You can use a knife, you can use a razor blade. I just happen to use a hacksaw because it's just fast and easy for me. Then you're going to put your hose union on here. Again, put it onto the down. You want to make sure it's all the way down to the bottom. If it's up a little bit, it's going to leak. And when you get your union on, get it good and hand tight. I'm going to tighten it on. Make sure you get it all the way on until it meets the bottom out. If you leave any gap, it's going to leak. Okay, same thing. Gonna measure a little bit. Union. Now typically you'll run your... Alright, now we got our bond wire hook up. We are ready to go. So we'll turn our power supply back on. We're going to turn on the pump. Now remember, you have to have the pump on because it gets its supply. Now I want you guys to be able to hear how quiet this is. So here we go. Is that not the quietest thing you've ever heard? All right. Well, that's how you change out a Polaris pump. Thanks for coming to this video. We'll see you again. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Check out all our other episodes. Episode 24 was our July 4th special. Be sure to check that out. We'll see you on the next one.